Today I'm going to be doing a poem whose title is almost as long as the poem itself. Ezra Pound's In a Station of the Metro goes like this. The apparition of these faces in the crowd, petals on a wet black bough. Now, Ezra Pound himself was one of those people that you're not quite sure what to make of. You can tell from this picture that he has a kind of insouciance, something of an arrogance, and it stood him in good stead early in the 20th century when he was making his impact on other poets of great note, such as T.S. Eliot, Robert Frost, William Carlos Williams. Pound was a great innovator himself and a great discoverer of what others had done in the past. He was one who revived the interest in Provençal poetry in France. He did some very fine translations of Provençal poets. He was one of the innovators with respect to bringing Asian poetry into English translations. And this poem that I've just recited is an example of the kind of imagistic emphasis that you might find in Japanese haiku. So again, the apparition of these faces in the crowd, petals on a wet black bough. Pound has to have the title for this image to flash on the inward eye, as Wordsworth calls it, but it's an interesting juxtaposition to think of a station of the metro, that is the subway in Paris, and these passengers getting off the underground train in the crowd, and these particular faces, which are beautiful, no doubt women's faces, as the crowd surges away from the subway and up toward the street. The apparition of these faces in the crowd, petals on a wet black bough. So suddenly from an underground urban scene to this freshness of springtime, all of it in a kind of flash of instantaneous poetic intuition. How do you build an understanding of poetry from this kind of simple transfer, this kind of charge? That's really what Pound's early poetry is all about.